Hey everybody, I'm Melissa, the Improv Sophisticate, and my sophisticated approach here. I got a new, it's not a tripod, I'm looking at it right now. It's not a tripod, it clamps to the table and then its wire goes up and then it goes like this and I can put the camera on it because I wanted a high angle because everybody knows high angles make people look better. And I was a little tired of looking at my aging chicken neck, my friends. So we're going to just keep this little arrangement going. But it's a little bit bouncy, so we'll see if it works. Or if all of a sudden the camera will just fall down and start, bouncing on the table. Tech. All right. Commitment. Let's talk commitment. I want to talk about life lessons folding into improv and vice versa. Commitment is huge. When I say commitment in terms of improv, I'm talking about because improv is about making choices. It's about accepting choices that other people make, and it's about making your own choices. So if you make a choice, you need to commit as fully to that choice as you can. Now, there is a danger to this, which is that you might become a stereotype or really even rather like an archetype. But that is fun to play with. I've gotten the note, don't be archetypes. But you know what? The audience is laughing. We're all having a good time. So what the fuck's wrong with playing like the archetypal Valley Girl teenager or the archetypal... for some reason, when people are being cynical and doing parodies, they don't seem to have a problem with archetypes. Like if you're playing, the Midwestern bitchy church mom, everybody's like, oh, they're fine with that. But, maybe just when things get closer to home, they dislike it or they don't. But I think playing generalized characters is a great way to make statements about life and the world without really getting anybody's feelings hurt. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I also like to play real scenes and be very specific. And eventually, as things go, I did a 20-minute long form with another lady, and the two of us did it together. And of course, we started as these like ditzy, airheady chicks. And then later, it was a lot of fun because what we did was we had a reveal like maybe at 15 minutes in when we were acting like these complete a-holes that worked at a mall. We had to reveal that we were both 45. And we were like, when are we going to stop acting like this? And it was great and very personal. So I say just run with it. And that is what commitment is about. Run with it. You get the ball, you tuck the fucking ball, you just start going. You just go. You go and you make the play. That is what you do. That is commitment. Now, before commitment, I'm thinking of a prayer when you're a kid. Back of the bread is the wheat. Back of the wheat is the mill. Back of the mill is the sun and the rain and the Father's will. Well, back of commitment is a decision. And back of a decision is a choice. So you have a moment in your scene. You have a choice. The person says something like, hey, did you just get home from work? Or, something about a workplace. And your mind might go like, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, I'm an artist, I'm a banker. That's the part when it goes from choice to decision, because you choose one of the choices. And then you take that choice and that decision. Now you're in a decision. Now you're a banker. What does banker mean to you? Commit fully. There's a reason for this, okay? If you don't commit fully, then you commit partially. And if you commit partially, it is very hard to... It's hard to get on board. You know what I'm saying? If you're like, okay, I'll just run with that analogy. If you've got two boats and you're trying to decide which one to get on, and you're on there, you might be like, whoa, as the boats are going, and you're just like, you're going to have to pick one. You're going to have to climb aboard. So, the more securely you hop aboard that choice, the more duration in front of you, you're going to have to build that choice, to really create that. And the more quickly you commit fully to it, and I mean physically, vocally, facially, words, cerebral shit, you know, your actual content, your actual dialogue, your space work, everything that you do, the more you immerse yourself into that choice that you've made, the more you're going to be able to truly fully embrace it and run with it. And then the audience can get on board and they know what to run with too. And it's just so, pleasant. It's the opposite of limbo. What's the opposite of limbo? When you're in limbo and you're ambivalent, you're like, should I this? Should I that? Should I this? Should I that? You just stay in this fucking limbo. Like, imagine if you were golfing, okay? You're on a golf course and you have 18 holes for your day. And instead of going to hole 1, like, let's say there's 18 holes and they're not numbered, and you're like, should I go to that hole or this hole? Well, and you're like logicking it out. Well, that one's a shorter thing, but that one's a longer thing, but that one's more complex, but, you know, and that might ruin my self-esteem, but I might do better at that early because I'm going to have more energy for the harder thing. Maybe I'll save the easy ones till later when I get tired, you know, and all this, I'm just throwing, you know, I'm just like spitballing, you know, improvising concepts about golf because I don't golf, but basically what I'm saying is, you know, you could be at the end of your entire golf day and you didn't even fucking do one hole. You're like, what did I do? Did you golf today? No, actually, if I tell you the truth, I stood around and thought about golfing, but I didn't actually do anything. Now, it's tough. I'm not going to, in any way, say that it's easy. If you're a person that's decisive, you might meet up with a chapter in your life when all of a sudden you're less decisive because maybe some of your impulsive or choices went wrong and you got screwed and now you're like, you know, you're super afraid to make choices. I've done that in my life. I'm going to just go ahead and make this video a little bit longer because I want to just actually put it out there. I am literally someone that followed my dreams. That whole, oh, my regret is that I never really tried to blah. Well, I tried. I tried lots of things. I fall in love fast and I fall in love deep. I get passionate about projects and I do them. I'm not impulsive. I'm not impulsive at all. I really think it through. But one thing I know about myself, and I really hope I stay true to, is once I make a decision, I like to continue with it. I don't like to wake up every day going, should I undecide that decision? It makes life very long and stressful if you don't just make choices and decisions. So in the golf scenario, what if you did that every day for a week? At the end of the 7th day, you may have had 7 days full of mistakes. What happened? Why is she sitting so much closer? Well, because my little capture got stopped mid-capture. Okay, so you're golfing, and at the end of the 7 days, maybe you made 7 days of just full of mistake after mistake after mistake, but if you're self-aware and you're tweaking, you just experienced 7 days of actual experience that you learned from. And if you do that day after day after day, imagine in the long term how much you learn. Now, what if all you did was spend those 7 days hemming and hawing? All you've done is reinforced a very bad neurological habit of not making choices, of not learning things, of not doing it. And now you're habituating the not doing of something. Same thing in improv. If somebody tells me I'm ditzy, you know, all of a sudden I'm going to be, I'm making the camera shake. See, ditzy move. But, you know, I mean, if somebody labels you something, take the label and just put it all over you. And then you can start to habituate doing that. And if you get a choice in a scene, if you're holding something, you know, decide what you're holding. If it gets labeled and you're like, you know, this is so super obvious that I'm holding yarn, because I'm about to go to my quilting bee, and it's very expensive, and that's why I'm holding it so preciously, because it's like really nice yarn with like, it's actually Angora, and it's itchy, but it's fuzzy. Make those choices and get in there and be like legitimize your work by making it truly what you decide it is. The other option is to be vague, to hem and haw, to let the scene drag and drag and drag while nothing fucking happens. I say choose the other choice. Make it saturated with options that come to your mind and that you spew out and make them real. This is magic, people. Improv is magic. All you do is you name it and it exists. So name it and make it exist. Name it specifically. Name it specifically, meaning, the detail of it, like that it's Angora yarn, but specifically also in that you make a choice of like how you feel about it. Like, what's your characterization in the scene? Where are you? Decide where you fucking are. Just make the choice. But see it like one of those, I don't know if anybody's old enough, but, if you were born in the 70s, you remember viewfinders that went choo-choo, choo-choo, and the little thing went like that, I know they sell them at Urban Outfitters, so all the kids probably know what it is, but, it's like, and it's changing, it's actually a disc, but it's changing the vision of what the thing is. So if you're like, barbershop, dentist office, airport, my kitchen, graveyard, haunted house, dog is at the vet getting surgery, whatever it is, just continue to be able to be malleable, but make the choices specific and make them legitimized by using the full saturation of that choice. I have fully saturated this topic. If you don't know what I'm talking about by now, then, rewind it and immerse yourself in these several minutes once again until you get it, because it is huge. And of course, let's translate that onto life. If you have friends, don't leave them hanging, waiting for your phone call where you're trying to decide what you're going to do. Be courteous, make those choices, decide, okay, just make a choice. Don't always be floating everything all around, because it's like, if I say yes to friend A on a Tuesday, maybe by Wednesday I'll realize that that's not the person I want to say yes to, or maybe I'll realize that's a person I should say yes to more often. And then now, look, I just grew a friendship since yesterday. Instead of going, I don't know, should I be friends with that person? Should I date that person? Should I like that person? Just put it out there and do it. That's my recommend. Of course, do you get hurt more often? Yes. Do you live more deeply and richly? Yep. Okay, that's all I have to say. Mwah. Talk to you guys later. Bye.